is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Hope you're having a great day. In today's video, we are going to be discussing some of the first couple of things that you need to do in order to start selling trading cards. That could be any platform, mainly Tcgplayer and eBay, or any game, Pokemon, Magic, Yu-Gi-Oh, One Piece, the whole plethora of games that are out there. It is possible to sell them all, and I'm going to give you some pointers on how to start. Now, who am I? Well, if you've never been to the channel before, hello again. My name is Bronzgod. I have been selling trading cards mainly on Tcgplayer for the last almost 3 years, and I'm about to hit my 10,000th sale in the coming weeks, which is a feat in its own, and a couple hundred on eBay, but mainly Tcgplayer. I have learned a thing or two, not only in my own journey, but from fellow content creators and other businesses and stuff out there. Just like any business, you can kind of take what you've learned on your own and the emulation of others, put them together and figure out the best way for you to do things for your own business or side hustle. Which leads me to topic number one. Just start, man. Just start. I originally wanted to start selling cards back in 2021, which is when a lot of people started during COVID. I have a history of playing, mainly Magic the Gathering, all the way back in high school in like 1996, and always had illusions of grandeur of starting and never did. And it wasn't until 2023 until I actually pulled the trigger. And I try not to live in the past too much, but I always, time to time, wonder where I could be if I would have started in 2021, 2020, or earlier. And that type of stuff will eat at you. So just start. Don't hesitate anymore. If it's something you want to do, start watching me, start watching other content creators, start looking up ways to sell cards, and just start. Because the sooner you get to it, the sooner you're going to have fun, and the sooner you're going to start figuring out your own path. That leads me to topic number two, is your path. You don't have to have the goal of opening a store. That is my goal. I would love to own my own store, even if I had to run a business for 2 or 3 years more online before I would have a store. That is my end goal. But there are so many ways to tackle this hobby or job. You could simply just start selling cards to fund the hobby. Originally, when I first started, that's kind of what I did. I was in a little bit of debt, and I used this to kind of get out of it. But with how crazy, especially with Pokemon, how expensive things are, you could just start selling off some of your extras or some of your extra bulk to someone like me or someone else. Get a couple extra dollars to then buy the stuff you really want, or buy that extra couple packs. You'd be surprised how far you can get some of this stuff to stretch. So that is one avenue to go. Second is as a side hustle, not necessarily to take over your primary job, but to make a little bit of extra cash on the side to supplement what you already make at your normal 9 to 5. And you can take that to various degrees of seriousness. You can do that just for a couple, extra 50, $100 here. You can get to the point where I'm at, where I'm doing about, I want to say $500 to $1,000 for the sales. That's not profit sales, and grow from there and just keep reinvesting. Or you can go the route of wanting to own a full-fledged store or online business. In addition to me owning my own brick and mortar store, I want to have, I don't know if anyone's heard of Burbank Sports, but it's like the biggest, craziest sports card store out there. And they have Harry Potter library shelves full of cards from every sport and every year. And it's like, that's something that'd be awesome to have. So picking what avenue you want to go down is very crucial in how you tackle all the tips and tricks that you'll get from anybody when you watch any of these videos. Third, and this is kind of probably one of the most important ones, is when you get started, do not, or try not to compare yourself and where you are to others. It is a pretty well-known fact that I believe the saying is comparison is the thief of joy. I still do it from time to time, even though I'm doing what some would consider good. I think I'm doing horrible, even though I have my small accolades I've made. But when you start, whether you start with $100 or you start with $10,000, there's always going to be someone ahead of you that you're chasing, but there's also going to be people behind you chasing you. So make sure whatever you do, keep your eyes on the prize, keep your head down, your eyes forward, and just grind to whatever goal it is that you set, because you will always find yourself comparing yourself to other people. And when you start doing that, you're going to feel down. You're going to get down on yourself. You're going to think you're not doing good enough. And that's when the evil thoughts seep in, and you might quit or take a break or whatever it may be. So just stay on target. Try not to compare yourself too much to others, and make your own way through this hobby however you decide to. Which brings me to my next point, which is to make sure you set realistic goals. When you start, you're not going to be buying thousands and thousands of dollars of product. You might be in the position where you could have the capital to do so, and you may not. When I started, there was a particular trainer, I think it was Rosa, from, I don't know what set, but at the time I found it in a little tin of cards I bought for like $50, ended up being $300. Sold it, and that was my nest egg for what I've grown to now. And when you start small like that, it takes a lot of work, because this is a hobby where, especially when you're starting off, and if you do the bulk route, which I'll talk about in another video, it is a lot of volume and it is not a lot of profit. There's profit there, but it is painstakingly miserable some days, and some nights all you'll be doing is just sorting and packing. But it's one of the best avenues to go down when you start, because of how risk-free it is. So make sure that you set realistic goals of where you want to be in 3 months, 6 months, a year, 2 years, and make sure that what you're doing is working towards those goals in any manner you can. And that can go for really any hobby or any habit, but especially with this one, with how capital intensive it can be once you start getting things rolling. Just make sure you set realistic goals. That way you don't burn yourself out, and you limit how frustrated you may get. Lastly, try to do the best at doing things right away. If you want to start making content like I or some other people, or if you have that box of cards to sort, or you have those cards you have to list, or whatever it is, and you think, I'll get it to tomorrow. There's that Rocky, I think it was Rocky 1, where Apollo tells Rocky, there is no tomorrow. That is a saying that I've recently latched onto and been trying to live as close to biblical as possible, because it's going to be so easy to feel overwhelmed when you start getting into this semi-seriously. You may have seen previous videos I have, the amount of boxes of bulk that I have yet to go through, sift through, list, sort. It can be a big weight on your mind, and the constant feeling of never being caught up can weigh you down. So you got to make sure that when you're doing this, you set aside the ample amount of time. And I know people out there might have families, you got other things to do, but you want to make sure you set up a schedule or something to where you're consistently going through the cards you have to make sure you list them and get them sold as soon as you can. Because if you don't, it's just another outlet to possibly fail. And like anything else, the minimal points of failure in a process are going to yield the best results. So that's about it for today. I just want to go over those key points, because those were ones that I started off with, and it's helped me quite a bit. Like I said, you will fail at some stuff. You will lose money, but you will make money, and you will learn new things, and you will talk to new people, and you will meld all these ideas together into what hopefully is a thriving and successful side gig or business for you. I'm looking forward to making more of these and more of the processes that I have learned over the years, and I look forward to sharing them with you as well. If you like the content, make sure you subscribe to the channel. There'll be plenty more of trading card business type things, in addition to live streams and gaming, all inclusive. So appreciate you guys very much for your time. Hope you have a great day, and see you in the next one. Bye.